Welcome to round 3. This is going to be an exciting one. First off, the map is Canyon Outpost. All the maps for the Swiss section, by the way, they were determined just by a random number generator, so that's what we rolled. And this is a very big map. I'm playing Gelasian versus Coalition here against Descara, who's, of course, insanely good. And Coalition tend to be a little bit better in the current meta, but I'm thinking, you know, maybe if I can just get like 6 production cruisers, I can just outproduce my opponent, because of course I can make 6 units at a time. He's capped at 3. That was kind of my thought going into this one, but of course I want to do some early aggression because that's what I always do. So Sandskimmer Fabrication's coming down right now. Nothing too greedy. As for Descara, he's got 1 salvager on the RUs. And he's going to go... Actually, no, I think he had him on CUs. And he's going to go for LAV production right off the bat. Descara really likes his AAVs. I assume the fact that he's not going for them just yet. Actually, okay, he might be. So I've been wrong so many times in predicting the tech that these players are going to go for that I'm just gonna not say anything until after he's already done it, and then I can't be wrong. Anyhow, I can definitely tell you what I'm doing. I'm moving up here on the field, producing some sand skimmers already. Gonna try to just kind of deny as much economy as I can for my opponent. It's a little tricky on this map because of course they have 2 mains basically. They've got one right there that's super easy to take. And for my sand skimmers to actually harass this, I'd have to actually go around the long way, which takes a lot of time, or I would have to push past this carrier, which does, you know, a lot of damage to me. So we'll have to see if I can actually make this attack effective. If not, Descara should be pulling out just a slight advantage. He's going for railguns first. That's very interesting. I wonder what makes him want to go for railguns first, because I mean, he knows as well as everyone else I'm an early aggressive player. That's all I ever do. So he should expect that there are some sand skimmers coming out on the field now, which there are. Railguns obviously don't really do so well against that. So we'll have to see what Descara is going to do about this. Not a single shot fired yet, except for from this carrier. The probe goes down, but he will have scouted everything, so he knows exactly what's going on here. My production cruise is already moving back. I think... Yeah, railgun fabrication's getting finished right here. You know, maybe Descara's idea is that, like, this position is so defensible, I don't even need to worry about the sand skimmers. I can just go for railguns and worry about, like, rails for my opponent or assault ships instead. And that would seem to be prudent, because of course that's what I'm going for already. So maybe that was actually a pretty smart move, I don't know. These 4-player maps are kind of wonky in general. In fact, a lot of the players kind of complained about the 4-player maps. They didn't like them, and so we've decided to go without them for the next tournament. So could have something to do with that, I guess. All right, a little initial scuffle going on here, and it looks like an LAV is going to get picked off for nothing. Definitely not 2 though. They can fall back to the protection of their carrier, and he's gotten power reserve 1 to make sure that he can hold off these LAVs at the maximum range of a, you know, of a new carrier in the game. Armored craft is ready, and refinery mode is coming out. Looking to take the second base, am I? And I also am looking to maybe do some damage with some early assault ships. Although none being produced just yet, because I'm a noob. There we go. These LAVs seem to want to go off on the backside, probably take out the base runner, but I was able to just kind of infer that they were there by the fact that they were not over here. So they're going to be caught out just a little bit, very far from home, but shouldn't be any problem for him, as they're pretty easy to keep alive in this kind of scenario. 1 railgun out on the field now. That's not going to do anything against these sand skimmers, but when the armored assault, when the assault ship comes in, that's going to be very useful for him. What are the numbers like here? It's 5 on 6, right? This could be won either way then. In a straight fight, like just running at them, I think the LAVs would win, but if I can kind of micro around the dunes and stuff, I might be able to take the LAVs in this fight. And now I'm going for railguns here. Let's see, I've kind of forsaken this base runner here. I guess I figured the LAVs might come in for a poke against my economy, but they are in fact here. This base runner should still score, but it's going to be good for Descara to deny some more scouting information that I could get with my scanners and such. And I'm going to see these LAVs pushing me down here. Just going to fall back to that one. Nothing I can do about that, of course. And the artifact goes down. This base runner could probably be saved, actually. Yeah, it certainly will. But the scanner goes down here, which is good for Descara. It means I can't see what he's got in this area anymore, so he can defend from here much more easily. What's the tech looking like? Sandskimmer rating is coming in. Armor 1 is already finished. Railguns are now done. As for Descara, he's gotten all of the upgrades for these LAVs. Is that the case? No. No, sorry, the tech viewer is just bugged. He's gotten Armor 1 for his LAVs here. Still doesn't help him too much against assault ships, but one of them will fall prey to it. But it is going to keep him afloat in this fight, I would rather expect. AAV fabrication now getting finished for Descara. Of course, he's seen a whole lot of Sandskimmer pressure here, so that makes a lot of sense. Meanwhile, I'm going for interceptors. My idea here was basically like, well, if I go for railguns and he sees those, he's going to think, okay, so it's an assault ship, railgun, missile ship tech tree. He's never going to expect interceptors out on the field, right? Because it's pretty uncommon. So my idea was that I could actually use that to kind of catch my opponent off guard and also have a really good unit composition against him. Descara, meanwhile, who knows what he's thinking? He's Swedish, but we will have to see. Second production cruiser comes out here. I'm looking to take a third base, and Descara, meanwhile, is mining long distance from his third base. Actually, now that I look at it, this one's definitely more defendable. I probably should have put my production cruiser there, but that is okay. He's going to scout this with the LAV, which is pretty crucial. These top-level players, of course, always very good on their scouting. They always see everything that they can see. There's a whole lot of Sandskimmers here, though. Definitely enough to push these 5 off, and so this base spinner ought to score. Shouldn't really be any contest in that regard. This carrier here is very angry, doesn't like this LAV being in the hood. He's going to push him off, as in kill him. Meanwhile, these LAVs here, getting caught out of position. They don't have the boost yet, so they're definitely just going to go down. They're going to get 1 for their troubles, looks like. Maybe 2. If this one's not microed properly. Actually, it's not even going to matter, I don't think. So those LAVs go down, and this base runner will be able to score. Descara, meanwhile, seeing these railguns with his probe, so he knows what the tech choice is going to be. And railguns made sense for me, I'd like to point out, because my opponent already had railguns too. Pushing in with assault ships was going to be really difficult. I could maybe have gone for air and then siege after that, but it seems a little bit unlikely. So that's why I chose to go with railguns here. And I'm moving them off to the left side, which seems prudent again, because here we have the armored assault vehicles from Descara coming in, trying to hold this extraction zone so that I can't get any more artifacts out. Any tech for Descara? Assault cruiser fabrication, which I doubt he's ever going to build, because assault cruisers are, you know, they're assault cruisers. He's probably going for, and especially because he's already seen railguns on the field, I'd like to add, he's probably going for artillery cruisers. That would be pretty spicy. So we'll have to see what he can get done with those. Gonna be some time though before that tech finishes, since you have to go through assault cruisers first to get to them. So we shall see. This one railgun kind of getting caught out of position here, and in fact it's quite unfortunate that I've pulled all these units out right before these AAVs came in. Oh, and the little sensor blip too, I would have seen this, but I probably assumed it was just the probe. I still don't think I have information about these AAVs. They can come in for backstab if they want to, or they can kind of come in here, sort of, you know, cut my supply line, right, so that no new Sandskimmers can get to the field. So these 3 AAVs in a very good position. This LAV not in a good position, but he is going to scout all of this coming at him, so that's good for him. These 2 railguns feeling a little exposed. Excuse me. Love to see what he's going to be able to do with this. Interestingly, note how Descara is like using his carrier as a support cruiser for both of these basically, and then he's able to take 4 bases off of this. I wonder if that actually is more efficient or not. I certainly don't know. There's a turret here to kind of hold this off, but I'm going to focus that down immediately. It goes down. I don't want to push into that carry though, it seems. And I'm going to fall back. But the AAVs, look at this, they cut up here. They're in a very good position to cut off these Sandskimmers if they don't get moving right now. This is an opening actually with these LAVs right here. And the railgun and the assault ships are going to push these AAVs off. There's a turret though. Super annoying turret right there. Looks like the LAVs are getting run over. They still don't have the boost pack, so they're definitely going to go down here. Probably No, one assault ship is not going to be lost to this turret, which is quite nice. But another turret goes down here by the base runner. These sand skimmers, where are they going? They could really have run past this turret and killed it on the way, but instead they're just going to run in here and all get killed. So that's a little unfortunate. But the air units are being scrambled now. How many are there? 2 interceptors with the 3rd just now finishing. And it's also being deployed. And the assault ships are coming in. It looks like I really want to get some damage done in this fight right here. Here they come. This would be a pretty spicy offensive even without the air support, although it is notable that this heavy railgun is going to go down quite sillily. I could have kept that one alive just by pulling it back over the dune there, but naturally my crew is a little bit taxed in these types of scenarios. All of these sand skimmers went down. I didn't quite see what happened to them, but probably just the carrier and the AAVs killed them off. And Descara is going to be able to hold here quite easily, I would assume. This AAV, I left him alive with 40 HP. Oh! I am sorry, my friends. All those of you who are cringing because there's a unit of 40 health still on the map, I'm sorry. Nice turret zoning off my base runner holding the artifact. How annoying is that? And it looks like the carrier is going to be able to push these AAVs back, probably get a kill on one more of them. Actually, since AAVs are faster than assault ships, he might be able to get all of these. Well, we'll have to see. The turret goes down, probably with the loss of about 2 sand skimmers, though it's hard to see with the action going on all over like this. But there are now 4 production cruisers out for me, so my army can be replenished very, very quickly. Descara, meanwhile, hasn't even gotten upgraded carrier production, so he's still producing 2 at a time. I've gotten siege cruiser fabrication, so that's going to be coming out pretty soon, I would assume, a siege cruiser or 2. Descara going for power reserves in his carrier, definitely wants to make that a bit of a weapon here. He can't push down this bridge, that's notable, so we can't do any economic pressure with this carrier just yet. And these sand skimmers here being zoned off of this area, they're going to have to fall back. But this base runner will extract over on this side here. Action going on just all over this map here, which is very fun to see. A lot of heavy railguns getting made now. Does this bridge block line us? No, it shouldn't. Yeah, it doesn't. So these railguns can actually shoot at the carrier over the bridge here, so he's going to fall back. He knows that there's nothing there for him. Armor upgrades getting finished on the railguns, which is good. You know, interestingly, like, it looks like you should easily be able to shoot over this little gap here, but actually you can't. Like, that is a line of sight blocker, which is a little weird in my opinion, but it'll do. The sand skimmers here found a nice opening here, and there's a whole bunch of undefended railguns behind them. But the AAVs have found the base runner, and they're going to deny the extraction despite what the air units have to say about it. Look at this, though. This is where the action is really happening. These railguns are so exposed. There's not even any turrets back here. These sand skimmers can do just whatever they want. And now there's kind of a sizable army of railguns from my side as well coming in. These AAVs want to come in for a backstab, but they're going to get harassed to death by these air units. Focusing down the support cruiser, but Descara is good on his smokes. He's probably, well, still taking damage right now. You know what I could definitely do here is take the sand skimmers, move them to there, and then hit hold so they don't have to run through the smoke. Oh, clutch smoke from Descara though is going to hold that support cruiser. And now suddenly this sand skimmer push seems like it almost wasn't even worth it. What an amazing hold by Descara. Not many players can pull that off. What's going on in the back meanwhile? These 3 AAVs are all quite damaged. It looked like they wanted to move in for a push there, but they seem to have thought better of it. More turrets coming down on the field, which is good for Descara. In fact, how many turrets are there now? 5 turrets, oh my goodness. That makes sense, you know, when I have so many sand skimmers on the field here. 4 being produced at a time at the moment. Air units are being scrambled against these oh, whoa, against these armored assault vehicles. These AAVs seem to want to push in here, but that's not going to go very well for them with all of these heavy railguns out here. They're going to smoke off, and this one's going to narrowly escape with its life. Oh no, it's a cruise missile. I hate cruise missiles. How many is it going to kill here? All of them. Of course it will. It's a cruise missile. That's pretty annoying, but that should be okay for me. I've got a siege cruiser that can also hold against AAVs. And meanwhile, what happened down on the south here? Looks like I was eventually pushed back by these AAVs, but I don't think I took any salvager. No, I did lose one salvager right there, but I was able to clean them up with those air units. Sand skimmers push in really aggressively right here. A lot of AAVs in the hood, but I guess I wanted to do damage to these railguns when I could. I don't know, that seems pretty suspect to me though. And the siege cruiser has got something to say about this too, but I rather suspect he's just going to do team damage, but we'll have to see. 2 siege cruisers now coming out for me. And actually it is assault cruisers from Descara, which I was not expecting. There is an artillery cruiser of course, but there's also an assault cruiser on the field, which as you can see demonstrated right here, absolutely murders sand skimmers, so that is quite a good choice from him. After clearing out those railguns, you know, he's pretty much safe to do that. A barrage comes in from this siege cruiser, is going to catch these AAVs, do moderate damage to them. They're pretty much all at about half health now. Descara's carrier doing some sick flips, of course. We always love that Unity physics engine. Bombers coming out on the field now for me. I'm really just trying to fill out the whole tech tree, aren't I? Meanwhile, Descara is going on power reserve number 6, so this carrier is now his biggest weapon. Knowing that, I don't want to let him get any more power than he's already got, so I'm going after this base runner right here. Am I even going to be able to stop this, though? I probably will. I'll have to see, though. Those turrets are trying to dagger down the carrier, that would take literally like an eternity. And this heavy railgun here going to clean up these, or at least push back these damaged AAVs. Am I going to get this base runner? Base runner better not score. I think it actually is going to. Well, there's 2 assault cruisers, there's 2 artillery cruisers out on the field here, so as far as cruisers are concerned, Descara looking very, very good. Don't tell me he's going to make it out. He's going to make it out. I even scrambled the air units for that. Oh. I feel angry about that, man. Anyway, Power Reserve 3 is finished for me now. So, because the Coalition player can produce 3 cruisers at a time, it's not going to be possible for me really to out-cruiser my opponent here. Basically, I'm hoping that these heavy railguns are going to be able to win the fight for me. These 2 siege cruisers are going to give very, very valuable support, but it's going to be up to the heavy railguns to be really the heavy hitters in my army. I've now got 2 bombers with a 3rd being produced, so clearly I want to go for some cruiser snipes here. This assault cruiser here going to make quick work of these sand skimmers should they choose to stay here. They're moving back, which is good. But they took some pretty heavy losses on the way. However, they got that got hit pretty good by these by these heavy railguns here. Now the bombers are being scrambled. They will certainly clean up this assault cruiser. Anti-air, I don't believe has been researched. Yeah, we would have seen it by now. Another assault cruiser trying to get quite aggressive right here, but these bombers are going to take care of him as well. Possibly gonna... No, he's not going to take out the siege cruiser, not even close. Looking pretty good so far. These railguns are pretty clumped up though, and there's a lot of assault cruisers, artillery cruisers here. A nice barrage could really do some serious damage right here. Excuse me. Barrage is gonna miss. So that's quite lucky for me. These sand skimmers here, I guess, wanted to die. That's not good. These railguns in kind of an awkward position. I'd feel much safer about them if they would back up or get off to this flank over here. It's a lot more open over there. It's a good place for railguns to be. Carrier now taking moderate damage for Descara, but not very much, obviously. How are upgrades looking on these railguns here? This hasn't gotten the mag accelerator upgrade, but heavy vehicles up armor is all the way done. As for me, railgun armor 2 is finished. So I should win direct railgun wars, but when there's artillery chipping in as well as some armored assaults, that's not going to work for me. So my railguns get cleaned up there. Now my siege cruiser is trying to target down his carrier to do some damage to it. That's going to work. It's going to get some damage, but I don't think I'm ever going to be able to kill it in this position. And currently I'm reproducing some railguns. Oh, the cruise missile is going to kill both of the siege cruisers here. Oh, tilted! Although it only got one of them, which is good for me. But still, man, I hate cruise missiles. The bombers are coming in here. What are they going to go after? Go after a lot of missiles, that's what they're going to go after. But they do take out an artillery cruiser, which is good. Probably going to get the other one, too. Oh, that's going to be close, but they will take out the support cruiser? No, they're going to target both of them and not kill either, which is quite unfortunate. This siege cruiser goes for a very juicy barrage here. but not going to get as much as I thought it would have from that position. Sandskimmer's doing an amazing run by right here. There's no artillery assault cruisers left on the field here, so this support cruiser definitely stands to go down, as well as perhaps several railguns. Descara, though, right on top of his smoke micro, and he's got an assault cruiser in the hood now. But these Sandskimmers should be able to clean out this artillery cruiser, I would have rather thought. Indeed they will. So siege has gone down for both sides, and interestingly the carriers are like, you know, they've traded positions here, which is rather interesting. That should be good for me, I would expect, because I've got, you know, many railguns, whereas Descara hasn't got anything to protect his eco from my ravaging carrier over here. 5 power and speed on that one, and another siege cruiser being produced, as well as 3 bombers. This assault cruiser being super annoying. Nice backstab from Descara. Should get cleaned up by these railguns though, although as you can see I've tasked absolutely all of them to go over there, which is a little unfortunate. My main is getting mined out, but no problem. I've got more bases over here. It's a 4-player map after all. And this carrier going in for some serious damage against Descara, although it is a little bit out of position, isn't it? There's railguns right here. There's AAVs, assault cruisers, support cruisers. A lot of stuff here that can contest this carrier, so I'm going to want to be a little careful with it. Right now, probably would be a good time to back away. I've done enough damage, I feel. And there's railguns over here that can then clean other stuff up, so... This is looking like a bit of an overextension, though. Siege cruiser gets popped off right here. Can drop a really nice barrage immediately on these railguns. This carrier is getting way too far now. Look at all these railguns. There could be some serious damage coming down, and a cruise missile blocking my escape. This is looking pretty dangerous now for this carrier. Although it's possible I could escape out around this way, but still. Bombers getting scrambled. There's a lot of support cruisers to do anti-air right here. Oh dear, these bombers are just going to die instantly. It's probably not a good time to scramble those. Hindsight is 20/20, I suppose. This support, siege cruiser running away, but these AAVs are going to chase him down. My carrier's taking some significant damage now. But he is going to get out of there, it looks like. And the economy for Descara is really in shambles. Another support cruiser going to go down here. There's nothing to protect all of these. And these railguns, there's so many railguns here. This could look like an easy carrier kill against Descara. He knows it. He's powering up the armor. He wants to get out of there. The economy, though, for Descara just in shambles. Moving these salvagers out here. Right into the railguns. Another siege cruiser spawns out of the carrier. Gonna be able to shoot at these salvagers, I guess, but really the target of interest is this carrier here. The salvagers throwing down their dead packs. Railguns are pretty weak. Is this actually gonna work? How much damage do these dead packs do to these? Oh my goodness, they're actually gonna kill them all! The salvagers kill all of the railguns go down here. And now suddenly Descara is looking like he's in a position to win this. What on earth is going on here? The Sandskimmers are coming in to clean up these salvagers. It's too little too late. This carrier's taking significant damage. He knows he can't run off into the corner. I'm going to try to run past and see if I can do that before I die. 15% health now on this carrier. 10%. Getting very, very low. But he might be able to get away. Go, Speed Racer. Go, Speed Racer. Go, Speed Racer, go! He's gonna get out of there. The siege cruiser dropped off in like the absolute worst location, but that's okay. Look how many resources I have. I don't even care about that. Another siege cruiser coming in here trying to get some damage in, but I'm not able to capitalize on the fact that Descara didn't get the carrier. He's still looking strong here. Putting powers up into repairs, but this is probably a fatal mistake here. I need speed so that I can get out of here and get over to here. This is a safe place to repair, but this is not. This siege cruiser here gonna get zoned out by these railguns, probably gonna get killed as well. What? I mean, what happened over there? Like, Descara looked like he was totally on the ropes, but then the salvagers with their det packs totally saved him. That's crazy. I mean, I've seen people use those before, but like the most effect I've ever seen the det packs from the salvagers ever have is that they kill like a turret that's being spawned. Oh, and Speed Racer. You know how the song goes, but in this case the odds are against him and he's going to die. Oh, why is the carrier backing up? Oh no. That's not where you want to be. No, 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 no. Go that way. Go that way. Oh, it's not going to matter. This carrier is dead for sure. There's too many railguns here. What a game. What a game, my friends. That was crazy. I mean, like, I played the game, obviously, so I know how it went. But I didn't really notice this when I was playing. I just thought all my railguns had died to, like, something mysterious, but... They get killed by the jetpacks. That's insane. That has never happened before. That is a new thing. New meta coming out here. Salvagers OP. Just build a bunch of salvagers, rush into your opponent's economy, and destroy them. Oh boy. What a game. Well, that was fun. That was a fun game. I hope that we get more games like this in this tournament. And Descara is going to move on still undefeated as of yet in this tournament. He beat Tarnarmer, beat Garmulator, just beat me. Only person left is like Romp Frolic or Catharsis or whatever, but it looks like he's going to have a pretty easy 4th round. And he's probably going to go undefeated in the Swiss section of the tournament. So props to him for that. And we will move on to the next round, the next game in this round.